Hello, Thunder Wizards. This is Mahadeva, the OG Thunder Wizard, and I'm going to continue my reading of my book, Thunder Shamanism. If you haven't watched the first however many 3 or 4 that I've done before this, I recommend you go and watch them. This book is the closest I have to a core focus in this, everything that I teach. And if you're able to understand how to use this tool of the thunder wheel, and it's like a magical compass. It's sort of, I mean, how else can I put it? It's like a secret, spy tool that you can use to open up the universe, and you can use it for balancing yourself. You can use it for balancing your external reality. You can use it for healing. You can use it for protection. You can use it for self-awareness. You can use it for shamanic journeying. You can use it, as I've shown you with the thunder, with the rune wheel. You can use it for divination. This is a tool that I am offering to the world, and other people that have gone, other people that have been my apprentices. There's a couple that have taken the understandings in this book and in others and have expounded on it in ways that are even beyond my awareness, even though I'm the one that supposedly discovered and put these things together. But really, I didn't discover any of it. All I did was I found that there were fundamental spiritual sciences that could be found all over the world, and this is my way of bringing it all together. The Hopi myth, if you're not familiar with it, I only know what I've seen on YouTube. I'm not I don't have any direct connection to the Hopi people, but according to what I've seen and researched, the Hopi myth said that they knew that the white man was coming to the New World. The question was whether or not he was going to remember his connection to the rest of the family of nations in the world. And if he did, then he was going to bring about this new healing and renaissance, because there was going to be a merging of technologies and reconnecting of old ancient knowledge. And that would have been known if he showed up with a symbol with the cross inside of a circle. Would have meant that he remembered who he was. If he showed up and he had a cross without a circle, it meant that he had forgotten who he was, and he had forgotten his connection to the other nations of the planet, and that all hell was going to break loose. Get the hell away as fast as possible. We all know what happened. First people that showed up that the Hopis saw were the Spanish conquistadors, and they wore Celtic crosses, no circle around them. So they knew what to expect. But this is now the time where we can accomplish what we could have accomplished, however long ago it was, 400 or 500 years ago, which is we have the ability now in this time to take these different technologies, these spiritual technologies, and to boil them down to their commonalities. And in this case, we'll find the most potent forms. We can go beyond, each cultural, symbolic understanding, and we can get to the root of it. And this is my goal with this book and with this work. So we'll continue on with that. This will be a question and answer as time goes on. Doesn't look like there's a lot of people on right now, but maybe that'll change. So Actually, let me refresh to see how many people are on, like it matters. Refreshing. Yeah, no, not a lot of people. All right, so let us continue with the reading. Let me bring up the book. All right, so I just finished walking through the 6 breath practice, and now I am getting to the advanced thunder wheel 5 element breaths. So before I do that, let's do a little bit of review. So in terms of the thunder wheel, remember the thunder wheel is not just this static 2-dimensional thing. It's actually happening on multiple dimensions. So I won't go over it too deeply, but let's take a look at it. Here's, as you see in the picture, what I'm showing you here is north, south, east, and west. And underneath that, if you can barely see it, is there's an 8-sided thunder wheel that I have placed underneath there, and you can see the 5 elements in each of the directions. And then what you see, that squiggly line shows how energy manifests as it moves in a clockwise fashion, because energy as it is created is not static, it's constantly moving. And so the energy as it comes into manifestation is, as we see here, from the north it has a dense property to it, and so the energy, the wavelength goes down, the vibration is slower. Then as soon as it comes into physical manifestation, goes to the northeast, and the energy goes way up and is very high vibrational energy. This is the realm of, as you know, the realm of the celestial gods. Then it goes to the realm of the east, where it intersects. There are 2 Celtic crosses intersecting. One is the cardinal directions, and the other is the diagonal directions. The cardinal directions are physical manifestation. The diagonal directions are spiritual or psychological manifestations. So that's why shamans have always worn Celtic crosses. In fact, the ancient character for shaman in Chinese is just simply a Celtic cross, which means balancing the 5 elements in the physical realm, bringing healing, bringing balance into the physical realm. But energy moves through all 8 of the directions. So it comes very high vibration in the northeast, comes back down on a flat plane in the east, and then dips down into the southwest, which is the subconscious realm, and then moves back up to the south, which is physical manifestation that's reached an apex, and from there it will undergo cleansing, and so the energy dips all the way down, the furthest down into the southwest, which is the underworld, and then it sharply comes back up into the west, which again is on a flat plane, and then it goes up again in the northwest with the realm of the ascended masters, and then dips back down and it starts all over again. Let's look at it from this perspective here, so we can see all of it as it's manifesting in all of its glory there. So that gives you an idea of how the energy moves as it moves clockwise through the thunder wheel. And I'll just let it finish up there so you can take a look at everything. And then what I brought, let's see, I already have it in here somewhere. Where is it? Is it this one? No. Looking for the 5 elements, because we're still working with the 5 elements now. So we just did the 5 element breaths in the last video. So we're going to continue, and we're going to keep going deeper into the elements. So there's the 5 elements. And we've got water in the north, ether or wood in the east, fire in the south. Earth is either in the center, but if we're talking about deepest earth, Then we're talking about the southwest. And then we have wind, air, or metal in the in the west. And then we go back to water in the north. So we're going to be talking about these 5 elements as I continue reading. So I gave you the 6 breath practice. And if you need to review that, or if you haven't seen it, watch the previous video. This is known as the 6 healing sounds of Taoist mysticism. However, as we talked about last time, actually the original way to practice this was not as sounds, but as silent breaths. And I teach you exactly how to do that in multiple videos, but go back and watch the previous one. I tell you exactly how to do that. And so when you do these 6 sounds, the 5 elements, and then the unifying sound afterwards, you do it in a very specific progression, which is what I call the creative, which has to do with manifested energy that's already in our world, and we're using the manifested energy to build, to balance, and to heal. So we go ether, fire, air, water. Ether, fire, earth, air, and water. It goes in that progression, and it builds on it. So ether, or wood. So wood is the fuel for fire. So when you create wood, fire wants to burn the wood. When you burn the wood, what happens when the fire's gone down? The ashes go into the earth. So the earth pulls all that down. As it continues to go further down, all of those minerals get pushed together by gravity and pressure, and it creates metal. And then that gets further, you keep going further down into the earth, and you get to the water, and then you have the central channel. So this is how each of the elements builds on the other. And I teach you how to do that, but the sounds themselves, if you were to voice them, is ether is shh, the fire is ha, the earth is hu, the metal is s, water is fo, and the central channel is e. And these are sounds that are universal in terms of their meaning. You go anywhere in the world, if somebody's angry, which would be the wood. So the wood is connected to the liver, and the liver is where we either operate from nobility, or if we're out of balance, we have resentment or anger. And so when somebody is resentful and they're going off and they're having a temper tantrum, what is it people do to calm the liver down? They go shh, shh, shh. Anywhere in the world you make that noise, they know exactly what you're doing. If we're talking about fire, which would be passion, intensity, you're attacking somebody, you're rooting for your team, you make the sound ha, ha. Everybody knows what that means. The earth has multiple ways to do that sound. One is hu, but another one is oh. So anywhere in the world somebody comes to an awareness of something, they go, oh, we already know what it means. It means that you've comprehended. Oh, I get it. They may not understand, oh, blah, 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 blah. We don't know what else they said afterwards, but the oh sound, they go, somebody's seeing something, comprehending it. The metal or the air. So here we have, in terms of the metal cuts. So, what is it when you're wanting to boo somebody? You go, sss. That's a way of cutting through the bullshit. Getting to it's a way of slicing through the garbage. And then water, full. So what happens when you burn yourself? Full. That is the water sound. And then E is the central channel and is associated with the ingrun. And anyway, so those are the 5 sounds if you were to voice them out. But of course, you're not supposed to do that. So we're now moving down to the the chapter called Advanced Thunder Wheel 5 Element Breaths. Okay. So in this one, after you have practiced the above method a few times, which is the chanting of the six element sounds with just the whisper, after you've learned that technique, you can use this technique in the thunder wheel at the beginning of your rituals in order to empower your sacred space. So somebody had asked me, should I face the directions? And I said, you can, but you don't have to. But if you want to use it in ritual, definitely it's a way to open up the space in a very powerful way. So you do this by facing east and silently chanting the shh. Then you turn to the south, silently chant ha. Then stay facing south, but focus your intention towards centering the energy beneath your feet in the center of the circle and chant hu. If you want, you can face southwest as well. So you can go from south to southwest. I was trying to make things easy for people, but if I were teaching this right now, I would say move from east to southwest. And so when you get to the southwest, you can chant hu. And then face west and silently chant s. And then face north and then chant the water fu. Lastly, stay facing north, but imagine energy descending down through the top of your head, through the center of your body, or the other way around. You can imagine going up and out the top of your head, and you chant E. When you are finished, place your hands over your navel center. Spend a few moments allowing this energy to accumulate in your navel center where it can be processed and stored for later use. As you are in this last stage of the practice, you can bring to mind any intentions. If you are, what did I mean by that? So if you're on the last stage of the practice, you can bring to mind any intentions you wish to manifest or imagine any problems resolving themselves. So let me talk about that for a second. So what you've just done, you stand in the thunder wheel and you face north, right? You face east. So let's do it again. East, shh, south, ha, southwest, hu, west, s, north, fu. Then facing north again, e. Imagine you've just done that. That is a way to create. So you can use that as a magical tool to create whatever the hell you want, because you're taking the energy of the universe and you are taking it through the creative cycle where the energy builds and feeds off of the other and nurtures and nourishes from the previous. And so now you have all this energy. You can use it for whatever you want. You can use it for self-healing. You can just use it to connect. You can just do it and then just let it do the energy, do whatever it wants. It'll just balance you and heal you and empower you. Or once you've done it, you can then charge that energy with your intention to go whatever it is you want. Find a job, find a partner. It's best not to arbitrarily impose on the universe something if you're not sure what it is. So the easiest thing to do is to do this and then just say to the universe, bring to me my highest fulfillment. And that will include everything that you actually want. If you have unconscious blocks to it, then the balance will bring to your awareness. So it's also extremely important to constantly be diligent in your experiences, your thoughts, your emotions. Because we all have blocks. We all have ways that we divert our energy away from our true essence, our true path, our true soul. We all have ways where we live out the negative imprints of our family and our parents. So those are all happening on the unconscious level. This is one way to become conscious. So one thing you can do is when you've gone through this 5-element practice, you just sit and just listen to what comes up. and watch what happens in your life. And when pain, sadness, misery comes up, acknowledge it. I think in another video I'll share with you something really profound that I came across about somebody who was able to heal themselves from an incurable, degenerative, fatal illness. And what they did to heal themselves was really amazing. But it's really just about working to be ruthlessly honest with yourself about your thoughts, your feelings, your intentions. And that's easier said than done. We all have things that we are completely clueless about. And the universe holds you responsible for your unconscious actions and intentions. So even if you're unconsciously sabotaging yourself because of some imprint that you had as a child, you consciously don't know what the hell you're doing. And somebody could look you in the face. I know as a teacher I've done it. You look people in the face, you tell them exactly what they're doing and why they're doing it. They will have no idea what you're talking about. That's just the nature of being human. So doing this kind of work will bring to your awareness. But the idea is to surrender to the process and be willing to be honest, ruthlessly honest with yourself. So this is one of the things that you can accomplish with using this energy. All right, so now let's talk about the next chapter, which is the Earth Mother. The first religions found all over the world are rooted in worship of Mother Earth. Anyone wishing to progress as a thunder shaman will need to be initiated by Mother Earth herself. This is what we will accomplish next. After almost 2 decades of practice and research, I experienced a very powerful shamanic initiation process connecting me personally to the primordial Earth Mother. In meditative vision, I was given a sacred sound, posture, breath, and visualization which connected me to Mother Earth in a most powerful way. When done correctly, this technique will put you in a deep shamanic trance instantly. The initiation you will receive right now is a self-initiation into the power of the primordial mother. The tribal shamans of Northern Europe called the Earth Mother Hulda. The root of her name is Hul. We can instantly connect to her immense power through the ancient and sacred sound of Hul. And the way I spell that is like this. Hul. Hul. So you'll see here now, you'll see that this is the earth sound, which is rooted. What roots it is the final letter, which is the L sound. The L sound in runes is the sound of the primordial waters. So this is energy descending and then rooting itself into the waters that are, if you go, if you dig deep enough, you get to water. So the water that is there deep within the earth. So this is the sound of the mother. It's not just the mother, it's the earth mother. So you bring the water element in it, the yin element, the feminine, you connect it with that descending power, and you have this mighty creator, the goddess of the earth mother. All right, let's keep going. The first letter, H. This sound represents the original matrix of primordial creation. It is the static perfection of the blueprint of the universe as embodied in the primordial ice whence all life originated. Again, this is coming from the runes, so this would be Hagalaj. Second letter is U, the U sound, or Uruz. This sound signifies the raw primordial power of life descending to earth in rain. This is the power of the unmanifested universe as it descends into manifested form. It is used for both healing and protection. It's also pure power. It's concentrated power as it descends into the earth manifested form. Third letter, L, or Laguj. This represents the primordial waters of creation under the earth. This is the water of life that bursts forth in springs. It is the immensity of the ocean. It is the essence of the waters of life. It represents nourishing, healing, and cleansing. So that's each one of these letters here, which in Norse is Hagalaj, or in the runes, Hagalaj, Uruj, and Laguj. Each one of these letters independently is a powerful and healing syllable. But when put together in this order, H-U-L, they represent an extremely powerful combination of primal energy and immense power. Chanting these sounds in this order represents a cycle of healing, cleansing, and rebirth. The H sound initiates an infusion of highly charged, pure, unmanifested life force energy from the heavens. The U sound pulls that pure heavenly energy descending into manifestation. This highly charged, perfect energy descends all the way down through our bodies and into the depths of the earth. The L sound infuses the waters of life deep in the center of the earth with this highly charged life force energy. The waters at the depths of the earth begin to boil and release a powerful steam which rises up through the soil up into the atmosphere and becomes clouds, which creates rain, hail, and snow, which once again descend to the earth to heal, nurture, and cleanse all life in the cosmos, and the process is repeated. When I chant this sound, especially the silent version, I imagine the powers of Mother Earth unleashed onto the planet in a primordial rain that washes away the pollution in the physical realm as well as on the psychic and emotional realms. For me, I can think of no better sacred sound to use as a remedy for the soul sickness of modern human civilization. Hul is a sound that can heal us from the detachment from Mother Earth and from the center of unconscious self-hatred. Below is one meditation for using the power of Hul as a means of empowerment and healing. It can also be a powerful form of magic when used as a weapon against unconscious destruction. So in case you're new to this, probably not, but in case you are, you can type in this Hul, H-U-U-L, breath. You can type that in anywhere, type it into YouTube, and you will see me teaching you exactly how to do it. So if you're not familiar with it, this is like if there was one energy practice or meditation that would be the initiation into this path, it would be the Hul breath. And I cannot overstress the all-encompassing power that this breath has. I've said it before, and I've given people the challenge. If you come onto my channel and you're looking for that perfect, ultimate, what's the most powerful thing? The most simple things are usually the ones that have the most power in them. This is one of those practices. So I give you the challenge. Any of you who are looking to achieve enlightenment, looking to achieve power, looking to achieve shamanic abilities, looking to achieve awareness, moksha, liberation, escape the matrix, youth, power, whatever. If you don't want to learn a bunch of different things, do this breath. Do that, go look for that video and do it. And if you've got the determination, do it for an hour a day for a year. If you can do this for 1 hour a day for a year, there's just no way that you won't be completely transformed. There's no possible way. And I know how serious somebody is. People complain about, oh, I don't want to pay for your this, or I don't have time for that, or, I can't do this, and why don't you give this away? And, I've given you the most powerful tools there are. I can't think of anything more powerful. The only more powerful thing I could teach you would have to be done in person. But it's not any better. This is an all-encompassing thing. You want to take the one magic pill that's going to give you everything. This is it. Do this for an hour a day. for a year and then tell me what happens. All right, let's keep going. So, you sit comfortably in a chair with your feet flat on the ground. Your back should be comfortably straight but not rigid. You look downwards in front of your feet. This will naturally extend the back of the neck. You place your hands at your side next to your hips with the palms facing down. Fingers pointing forward as though you are going to push yourself up from a bench. Imagine that you have tennis balls in your underarms so that your arms will not be flush against your ribs. Opening the underarms will stimulate energy flow in the arms. Feel the earth beneath your feet and simultaneously put your concentration on the center of your palms and on the soles of your feet. On the inhale, you can imagine a cool mist entering through the crown of your head and descending to your heart center. Then exhale while slowly and silently chanting the sound As you chant the sound, feel the healing mist trickle down through your body and exit through the palms and the heels all the way to the center of the earth, where it forms a large subterranean lake. As you are completing the exhale and making the L sound with your tongue touching the roof of your mouth, allow your tongue to touch the actual roof of your mouth. This will stimulate the pineal gland. So not but doesn't have to be in the middle. It's just, you can let it rest behind where the teeth start to come down from the gums. You can put it just, it's still on the roof of the mouth, but towards the front if you'd like. When you make the L sound with your tongue touching the roof of your mouth, imagine the subterranean lake bubbling and creating a mist that rises up into the atmosphere and freezes into clouds high above your head. Then inhale and allow the icy snowflakes to descend and melt into a cool, healing mist that once again enters your crown. And the cycle repeats itself. Continue like this for as long as you wish. This is a very healing meditation. You can also imagine the power of Hul healing and restoring the earth while simultaneously healing the communal psyche of humanity, bringing society back to earth consciousness. So, whatever it is that your thing is, Black Lives Matter, healing of the earth, whatever it is, pollution, society, think about whatever your thing is that you say that we have to change this and fix that. Whatever it is that you want, do the Hul breath and put that energy into the breath. Imagine or allow it to change. If it starts to change your perspective, for instance, let's say you're full of rage about something, you can take that rage and put it into the meditation. And then what will happen is Mother Earth will say, in her way, it's okay for you to be angry, but let's focus this energy in this way. So it's important that you acknowledge all of your feelings. This isn't about being righteous and good. This isn't about denying your anger, your pain, or your fear. You have to have all of your feelings. Again, my definition of enlightenment is being fully aware and fully connected to all of your feelings, positive and negative. I don't care if you're full of murderous rage or motherly love. Whatever the feeling that you have is, embrace it, feel it. I'm not telling you to indulge in it. Don't start making plans based on your rage, but feel the rage. Feel the hurt, feel the sadness, feel the fear, feel the anger, feel the love, feel the hopefulness, feel the wonder, feel the fear, the terror, the horror. Feel all of it. And put that into this sound and let the sound balance and transform it. Stay conscious and allow yourself to be ruthless. Become aware. Oh my God, all this time that I've been running around helping people, every time that I put myself out there and I give and I give and I give, I just realized now I've been doing that so that I can get people to love me. I've been doing it this whole time so that people will acknowledge me and see me as a hero and see me as a good person. And that has nothing to do with giving unconditionally. Oh my God, this is such a big awareness. How embarrassing. You got to be ruthless with yourself. That's where the healing comes. I can't stress the importance of this. People who are not aware of their emotions die. This is where degenerative disease comes from. I mean, we could name all the long lists of them. This is where it comes from. And people who, by the time people get to be my age or older, all these diseases start popping up. And I'm telling you that that's the accumulation of unconscious, unresolved emotions and feelings that have ended up being deposited into the physical tissues. And then after decades of unresolved feelings, oh my God, I just found out I have such and such. I was fine up until last year, and then I started having this disease. No, you've been quietly building it for decades. That's how it works. So this is one of those sounds that can heal anything, and especially if you choose to work cooperatively with it, to feel all of your feelings and be ruthlessly honest about what your intentions and your desires are. And you can accomplish anything with this meditation. All right. Now we're going to talk about doing some shamanic journeying to the 9 worlds. In this next section, we will explore shamanic journeying techniques to each of the 9 worlds. The 9 worlds exist both in the external macrocosm of the manifested cosmos and in the internal microcosm of the individual. Through shamanic journeying, we can integrate both the internal and external worlds. Shamanic journeying methods. There are an infinite number of methods to achieve an altered state of consciousness. For simplicity's sake, I will teach you how to use breath to achieve an altered state of consciousness conducive to shamanic journeying. But before I continue, I want to state that it is not necessary to experience an exaggerated altered state of mind and body to achieve a deeply shamanic state. So in the beginning, don't worry too much about feeling anything. In my experience, some of the most profound shamanic communications have been very subtle in nature. It's also fine if you do have a powerful experience. We are not doing this for an experience, we are doing it to allow ourselves to be transformed. If you do these exercises properly, whether you feel anything or not, I can assure you that you are being transformed on multiple levels. If you are consistent in these practices, you will begin to notice profound changes in your awareness and perception in ways you may not immediately notice. But over time, if you look back, you will see that you have changed and that your life has begun moving in different directions also. First, we need to learn the shamanic breath technique. This next technique is a breath technique I developed which is designed to prepare the nervous system and body for achieving a shamanic state of mind. The goal is very simple. Allow the breath technique to do the work. Don't try and do anything. Nothing has to happen. Your only goal should be to allow the power of the breath to relax and nurture you. For the purposes of this chapter, you are going to use this technique to create a connection between yourself and whichever direction or world you are working with. For example, if you are seeking to journey to the northern world of primordial waters, you would sit comfortably in a chair on the ground and face north. It is important that you are comfortable. Sitting comfortably in a chair is the easiest method for most people. However, if you are trained in a certain type of meditation posture, such as yogic full lotus, Taoist or Buddhist meditation, feel free to employ that method also, but sitting in a comfy chair works just as well. Facing north in whatever posture you choose, close your eyes and begin breathing long and deep, allowing the diaphragm to expand fully with each breath and release fully on each exhale. When your breathing has become relaxed, natural and full, exhale all the stale air out of your lungs with a complete exhale and then begin this breath method. Inhale to a count of 5, hold the breath for a count of 3, exhale for a count of 5, hold the breath out for a count of 1, repeat for at least 3 minutes. So before we go into shamanic journeying with the directions, let's just get used to this breath technique and use it as a meditation. For this, we're just going to sit or lie down anywhere and just practice the following breath technique. So if you're someplace, don't do this while you're driving. But if you're at home somewhere or someplace where you can get comfortable, so go ahead and get comfortable and I'll walk you through it. So, ready? Here we go. So inhale, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Hold, 1001, 1002, 1003. Exhale, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Hold, 1001. Inhale. That's it. Just keep doing it like that, and you will be doing just fine. So if I demonstrate just showing you what it is without talking you through it, this is what it would look like for me. So first I exhale all the breath out. Hold. Exhale. Hold it out. And then inhale again. Okay? That's it. This is this breath technique, you will feel it start to shift things. If you are somebody who is constantly stressed out, then I forget, what the different, limbic and the whatever systems in the body, whatever it is. If you're constantly stressed out, it means that you're constantly going and you're in a state of survival mode, which is very toxic to the body. And then, whatever sleep you get, is it just you pass out. You get so tired that you pass out. And then you wake up, you drink coffee. That's what we do. We wake up, we drink coffee or whatever caffeinated drink. We we slap ourselves awake. We get woken up by some alarm. So we're constantly in this state of, trauma survival mode. You live like that long enough, it takes a toll on the body. This breath, it'll start to reverse that. You'll feel, I just did it now and I felt myself completely start to reverse and change, and it opens you up to receive energy. You're not on this constant defense, fighting with your reality. And most people walk around with this defensive, negative stuff, going through their head and their body all the time. It's important to do this kind of work. This is why, people who meditate, all their lives, they're very calm. It's because they're able to put themselves in this state of mind, which changes the chemistry in your body, changes the chemistry of your brain. All right, so repeat like this for at least 3 minutes or as long as you like. Again, if you just did that exercise, do that breath an hour a day for a year, your whole life will change. Repeat like this for at least 3 minutes or as long as you like. This is a great meditation in and of itself. You may fall asleep. That's okay too. When you feel comfortable with this breath technique, you can begin the journeys to the direction. So lots of times when people learn how to do Qigong breathing or this kind of breathing, what will happen is, one of the first things that happens is they get tired and they fall asleep. People who have insomnia think that they're tired all the time, that they have too much energy. So they'll say, yes, I'm sorry, not that they're tired, but they're amped up all the time. I can't sleep, I have too much energy. Now that actually means you don't have enough energy. When you actually tap into energy and you haven't had energy for a while, the first thing that'll happen is you'll fall asleep. It takes more energy to sleep than it does to stay awake in that crazy sense. So there's a difference between being constantly wired and then collapsing for a few hours. That's not sleep. That's what happens when that's PTSD. That's what happens with people in war situations. They're up all the time until they collapse, and they'll collapse for a few hours, and then they'll wake up with a start, and they're back that's being at war. That's not at all being asleep. It takes more muscles to close the eyes than it does to open them. So that's why when you're wired, you can't keep your eyes closed. But when you actually get some energy, your eyes just close because you have the energy to relax. You need energy to relax. And by energy, I don't mean feeling amped. I mean actual energy. So you'll find if you do this that you'll get sleepy, you'll get tired, and you'll pass out. That's okay. Your body obviously needs to recharge itself. When you have enough energy, then you'll be able to stay conscious and awake while you're in these heightened states. Okay. This is a very relaxed form of shamanism. I will give some minimal guidance into what you can choose to imagine to start off your journey, but please don't feel you have to adhere to my suggestions. Allow whatever imagery or experience arise that works for you. The 9 realms are real, but the symbolism of each world may appear differently to different people. So you need not impose anything onto your experience. And at the same time, you need not limit your experiences either. Don't expect anything and don't judge anything. Just observe and see what happens. It's okay if you feel or experience nothing. The meditation is still working, and the powers of the directions are communicating with you, perhaps on deeper levels beneath your conscious awareness. You can analyze and meditate on the meanings of the visions or lack thereof after the journey. In fact, it is recommended that you do just that. You may receive information in your journey that makes no sense to you at all. But after meditating on what you receive, you will very likely find some very profound teaching that can guide your life in ways you never expected. This is the nature of true shamanic journeys. For me, it often takes months or years to interpret what I have received. My entire body of written work is a direct result of a shamanic journey I took years ago that I am still deciphering and interpreting. So don't minimize any experiences you have. Having said that, you don't need to overemphasize them either. Just observe. So, the unconscious mind is the doorway that our soul uses to connect to infinity. But when you go into the unconscious mind, whatever garbage is in your unconscious mind may take precedence and may grab your attention. And you may think you're having a shamanic journey when all that's really happening is just you're interacting with your own unconscious. And that is fine too. We're not here to judge what happens. We're only here to deal with it. If you've got plumbing issues and what you wanted to do was, create a, swimming pool, and you find that as you dig that there's pipes in there and plumbing issues, you have to deal with that. So the same thing when you're working and you're expecting to have this great shamanic journey, and all that happens is you get wrapped up in your own unconscious unresolved issues. It has to be dealt with. So don't judge it. It's just a practice. You just practice and learn and deal with what becomes available to you. Don't try and impose anything on it. Okay, my suggestion, starting back in the book here, my suggestion is to start with the north, the realm of unmanifested potential, and proceed in a clockwise fashion until you have journeyed to each direction. After journeying to each of the 8 directions, then take a journey inward, which will be the Middle Earth realm within you. All right, so now I have these shamanic journey suggestions, which I don't want to go into. I'd rather do this all in one reading, so I'm not going to do that here today. I'll take a look and see if there are any questions, and we'll take it from there. So let me get us back where we belong. And again, this is coming from a book. If you don't want to waste time, just buy the book. Go to Amazon and type in Thunder Shamanism, look for my name, or go to courses.thunderwizard.com and get the book yourself. Again, what's the point of coming onto my channel? Think of how many hours you may have spent on my channel if you're not using any of the resources. I highly recommend it. It'll make watching my channel a lot more beneficial. All right, I'll take a look and see if there are any questions here. Let me get rid of the 5 elements wheel. All right, so let me just refresh and see how many people we do have, if any. Just refreshing the page. Yeah, 12 people. All right, so first question, Frigga and Hella White. Question, Eoch, what is that? EOCH, always comes in front of me before Hagalaz. What is that? Eoch? I don't know what that is. Seriously, I don't know what that is. Is that a misspelling? I've never heard of that before. Is that a rune? Eoch? I don't know what that is. Yeah. You're going to have to educate me. I have no idea what that is. Always comes in front to me before Hagalaz. Eoch would mean anything, as if it doesn't hurt. Seems all right for me to use this. I have no idea. I've never heard of it. Is that a new rune? What is that? I don't know what that is. I'm not seeing any question. Here's another question. Question, if you do fall asleep during, should you close down when you awake? Sure, why not? And then she says, you said it right, I'm not sure. I don't understand. Is that an existing rune? Is that your own sound? It's really important that you guys give context. I mean, don't assume that I know what you're talking about. Because there are different teachings out there, and there are things people throw this out, and it's a different teaching. I've never heard of that word before. So what is it that? Okay, she says I haven't a clue. Well, neither do I. So I don't know what to tell you. I can't talk about something I don't have any awareness of. So you'll have to tell us what it means. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I have no idea what it is, but so I can't judge it as right or wrong. If you're saying it happens and you're not trying to make it happen, I mean, what can you do? It might mean something. I honestly don't know. Ew. No idea. Okay. I don't see any more questions here. So, you know the deal. If you don't ask questions, I got to do the business. So I am going to do some business here. So, lockdown.thunderwizard.com. The clock is ticking on that. The purchases of that have dwindled to 0. So that tells me that people aren't interested in that anymore. I will then dismantle that and go back to just giving each of the teachings and video courses and everything individually. So bear in mind that individually they'll cost over $2,000 altogether. So if you want to get all of my video courses and teachings that I have control over, as well as 2 certifications, an astrology certification, which you can use to create your own business, a rune reading certification, which you can also create to use to create your own business, and teaching people how to become a life coach in a very specific way, helping them find their perfect career, which is a recipe that has worked for me, and everybody who has followed my teachings to the letter consistently have also found improvements in their life. Some people, huge, major, life-changing improvements, and they're doing really well now. Whereas before they were struggling just to, eat. So that, lockdown.thunderwizard.com, go check that out before it's too late. Thunderwizard.com is the subscription site for this channel, and it's what keeps me able to eat. And so if you really want to help me, then go and subscribe to that channel. Now, my subscriptions are not nothing. You get far more than what you're paying for. The entry-level Mastery of Shamanism course, it's got to be hundreds, if not thousands of hours of specific video teachings telling you from A to Z how to become a master shaman, and everything that we talk about. So that's at thunderwizard.com. And then if you want to learn the Manifestation Mastery course, you can subscribe at that level. If you want to work with me personally, there are higher levels of subscription. But subscriptions always have something. You get far more than what you're paying for. It's not just a symbol. If you want to use it as a symbol, that's fine. I appreciate it. But if you're coming onto my channel and you're wanting to learn, that's a really good way to do it. Courses.thunderwizard.com, everything else. My books, DVDs, etc., etc. If you want to achieve complete enlightenment, if you want to achieve moksha, if you want to achieve liberation, escape the matrix, and never have to incarnate again, there are two very important things you have to do. And if you do these two things, very simple, you will achieve complete enlightenment. The first one is to subscribe, and the second is to hit the bell button. When you hit the bell button after subscribing, then the universe will write your name into the fabric of the universe as an ascended master, and you'll never have to do or deal with anything nasty ever again. There it is. All right, so I'll check and see if there's any last minute questions. If not, we'll wait until next time. I don't see any questions, so that's it for me. All right, guys. Hope you have a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you all very soon.